Okay, so back from the range, and I can tell you, I I learned a lot about building and even shooting a SBR. I like to think of it as as an SBR, but it's not. It's an AR pistol, and the really this is like the closest thing that you can own. That's like an SBR where you're not having to pay the $200 tax stamp. So I just wanted to share with you some of the things that that I learned along the way. Real quick, at the range, I really enjoyed shooting this. I didn't have enough ammo. I would probably be in there all day. So one of the things about shooting this is that it is comfortable, even though that you have that buffer tube. And you would think that it may be a little uncomfortable. It was only one time that it was uncomfortable, and that was while I was sighting in the red dot, and I was hunched on the table and chair, and for some reason it was getting me just right in my shoulder, and it was painful. It just wasn't comfortable. And when you're standing, because depending on where your hands are, if you're pulling and pushing and it's sitting into the pocket of your shoulder, no discomfort at all. And that was one of my main things. And I'm sure a lot of other people think about that is, with a buffer tube stuck. and you're cramped over, that it may be uncomfortable, and it's not. It's not uncomfortable at all. All right, and one of the other things, and this is a safety thing, and you'll see from the video, I did not record the boo-boo or the mistake I made because I don't want any evidence of it. But anyway, as you're holding it, because maybe you're used to a longer rifle, an AR platform, before you know it, your hands are creeping up along the edge, and I could see where you may have a thumb hanging out here, and it could kind of creep over, and that would be a problem. But the boo-boo that I made was the sandbag. You'll see in the video, there's a sandbag that I'm resting this on as I'm setting it in, and that sandbag, after I took a few shots, and at that time I turned off the video, the sandbag started creeping up, and it covered about a third. That's not good. About a third of the flash hider here, and I put a huge hole in it. It did a pretty devastating job on that sandbag. But anyway, so this is a fun rifle to shoot. I've learned a lot from building it. One of the big things that I've learned from building it, I'm going to share this with you real quick, is roll punches. Roll punch kit and a roll punch holder set. If you're going to build an AR, invest the money, because if you're going to build one, you're probably going to build multiple ones. Get a roll punch kit that is specifically designed with a little bulbous area on the end to fit a roll pin nicely and not flatten it and give it that kind of shiny edge. And then the holders are really nice. And, you know, here I am trying to put some in with pliers and stuff, and you know, it wasn't very successful. But the holders, and I got these from Brownells, both of them, and the holders have a little hole in them that actually hold the roll pin specifically for the AR. Also, second thing, real quick, I thought I was saving money by going with just a lower kit, a lower receiver kit that did not include the handle, the pistol grip. I thought that everything was included other than this, and I was wrong. And I bought a couple of them for the few other builds that I got going on, and it makes much more sense to buy this kit than you buy this, and by the time that you buy the hammer and the trigger, which does not come in just this kit alone, which I didn't know, you're back up to more than this actual kit. So, and this is a DPMS lower receiver kit. So, one thing I can pass on for anybody else that's doing a build. And like I said, really a lot of fun to shoot. I did have a little bit of an issue with this Bushnell TRS, I think it is, 25 red dot. It seemed to not co-witness very well, and unfortunately I did not have my Magpul front sight adjuster, but at 25 yards shooting it was low, and I messed around with it, and then at 50 yards it was kind of high, and then at 100 yards it was all over the place. So that could just be because of my eyes. But anyway, so again, an AR-15 pistol build. I would highly recommend, if you're into AR-15s, this would definitely be should be one on your bucket list for ARs to build. Thanks, YouTube. Don't forget to subscribe and like. Thank you.